All right, so I guess we are live now. Let me know if I'm audible to everyone or not. All right, all right, all right. Audible. All right, cool. We'll wait for more people to join in, and then we'll start with the session or the live, whatever it is. Let's wait for some more people to get in, and then we'll start. So, one thing which I want. Okay, we'll wait. Actually, we'll wait for more people to join. All right. So, guys, share this video to wherever you are. I mean, wherever you can, so that people can join in, and then we can start with the discussion. What's my view on the markets positionally? All that we'll discuss all that. Don't worry. We'll discuss all that. We'll wait for more people to get in. Views on Grasim. All right, all right. Grasim. All right. Let's check out Grasim. I think it's in the top losers. Yeah. So Grasim, if you see, this supply was never tested. All right. This supply isn't tested yet. It was a new high which was made here, and it wasn't tested. And the demand zone is somewhere here. So it's broadly in a range. Nothing wrong with it, but no long in it here anywhere. Right? Promoters are buying, so that is good, but I would avoid this. You see, you should exit all these structures, which these structures are weakening out. So the market is getting a bit dicey. All right, these structures should have started performing by now, but they kind of weakening out, right? So maybe they come down to the range low, and then you can see some more up move. So what I'll do in the current market is Bank Nifty. The structure is still good. There is nothing wrong with the positional structure of Bank Nifty. All right, but what I'll try to do here is I'll try to trade very small. All right, so if I'm taking a new long, I'll trade very small and I'll see if they are going up with the market or not. So suppose this long which I talked about, so this is also a small trade, 0.5 hour trade, right? And the ones which are failing are also small longs. So what I'm doing right now is I'm only taking small positions in stocks which are setting up. All right, and what I'll try to do is if they hold their structures, then I'll add in them. All right, so suppose if something like TWL, all right, Titagar wagons. So if it holds this structure here, then and the structure matures, then only I'll add. All right, and I'm taking a bigger um, I'm taking a bigger room basically in these trades. All right, so see, one day of fall doesn't really affect anything. All right, so um, I'm not sure why your views are changing about the market. This hasn't even broken the structure. Actually, it isn't even breaking this base. So until this base is broken, there is nothing to worry about, right? Even if this base is broken, I won't be worried about anything. I won't be worried about anything, because my area of importance is actually this demand zone. All right. So whenever if it comes down to this demand zone, that is actually a long entry for me. So the only point is that the participation in the broader market is very less. All right, a lot of stocks are breaking down, but stronger structures are still going up. You see something like VIP Industries, this is still going up. All right, just a second. Right, so you see something like VIP Industries is still going up. All right, and your Honda Power is also really strong. It has been strong for months actually now, and something like Rajesh Exports is still going up. So strong structures are performing as they are supposed to, but the broader market participation is not there. There are a lot of stocks are downtrending now, especially in the FNO market. You see only a handful of stocks are in the green, and that too very minor green. Only these kinds of strong structures are holding out, right? See Federal Bank as well, something like Indigo as well is holding out. Petronet is holding out. Or not Petronet, sorry. Loris Labs is getting stronger on the weekly zone. This is holding out. But the majority of stocks, they're down. So weak structures are getting punished. All right. So you see Naukri, this has never broken the 50 weekly EMA in since like 2017. All right. Apart from this March fall, but now it's breaking down and trying to trend down as well. So these are not good. These are not good structures. All right. You might get a multi-month range here. You see Balkrishna Industries as well. Another stock which was very strong earlier is now not that strong. So be very careful. Don't just jump into names because they have been going up in the past. All right. Be very, very careful with what you're choosing, and trade small. All right. Pick up small positions and give the market some time. Small cap index, I've discussed that if it starts going below this pivot, that is a bad sign, and it looks like it's about to fall. All right. So small cap may see some rough times ahead. This might be some kind of a distribution area in small cap. We might easily come down to this area. All right. So this is somewhere here. Around 10% of a fall in the small cap index might happen very easily. All right. So be a bit careful with what you are picking up, and give the stock some time to come down and mature again, because right now we're definitely not in a good structure here. All right. So you see every time it dips down, it starts going up immediately. All right. Absorb the supply, goes up. Absorb the supply here, goes up. But this time, this is not really doing anything. All right. It's trying to turn around and fall. So not good right now. So wait for your structure to form. But Bank Nifty and Nifty Auto are bullish. So auto sector, I'm still bullish. Yes, of course I'm bullish. Auto sector is the weekly chart. So don't get worried by some one day drop. Look at this weekly chart right here. There is nothing to be not bullish here. All right. So this is still all right. Ashok Leyland is also still good. These are just one day things. All right. If it has to break down, the entire market will break down. So don't worry about these falls, like these 2-3 rupee falls. Don't worry. These are times to add your positions into these structures if they start maturing here again. All right. Because it will fall once, twice. But if it goes up the third time or the fourth time, it's bound to break out. So take this opportunity to add positions and keep your stop below this low. All right. You see these demand zones holding. If you see some intraday bottom right here, suppose a 50 MA flattens out over the next 1 or 2 days, and then you can get another bout of up move. So use these opportunities to add. All right. Don't don't get phased by just 1 or 2 day falls. Of course, it was extended. Look at this. This was extended, so this can obviously happen here as well. Right. If you're expecting a breakout, that comes with the risk of a reversal as well, because stocks are at a elevated level. But the market, there is nothing wrong. Bank Nifty is also holding this very nicely. So look at this. All right. So money is being pulled out of defensives. So Nifty IT, if you see Nifty IT is down again. All right. So avoid these structures, right? Always there is no option. You have to trade sectors which are doing this after a base. All right. There is no option. You cannot afford to miss them. It's that serious. You have to trade sectors which are contracting like this. This is also about to go up. It's also outperforming today as well. Nifty Energy, look at the outperformance in Nifty Energy. Right? Nifty Metal, look at the outperformance in Nifty Metal. Nifty is down 1.6% and Nifty Metal is just down 1%. So these things are outperforming. So you have to trade them. All right. So Asian Paints for a long entry. Asian Paints for long. There is nothing long here. This supply is not yet tested. It's not about to go anywhere. You should take structures which are doing this. All right. Or see this supply tested contracting here, then it's going up. All right. Supply tested contracting here, then it's going up. So when it's far from the previous high, don't take those longs. All right. If you want to buy this for a long term trade, which I'm not personally a fan of, because what is long term, right? This thing has fallen here. Suppose, right, it has fallen 25%. All right. So I mean, you'll keep buying at 10, 12, 15%, and then when it keeps falling, you lose your conviction because it's borrowed conviction. All right. So nothing long term investing. There's a lot more to it than just buying quality stocks when they're dipping down. All right. So something like Naukri can also happen. Naukri was uptrending since forever, right? And now look what has happened to it. This deep correction hasn't been there uh, in its start, other than the March fall. No matter what the market was doing, all right. So this is not long term investing. If the stock is dipping like this when the market is not dipping, that is not long term investing. All right. You want to buy stocks which are dipping less when the market is going down. All right. So wait for things to set up around highs. All right. Something or the other will always give you opportunity, and reduce your position size, because there will be a lot of volatility right now. So you see, this is also about to test out the previous supply. You see stocks like this where they're testing out the previous supplies, they're breaking out, right? So focus on these stocks. Look at this. It's a great chart right here. All right. So buy this slowly if you want to. This is not a recommendation, but focus on charts like this, because it's, see, first of all, it's not falling in the March correction. All right. Then it's not falling in the October correction. What else do you want from a chart? All right. So these are the charts which will outperform. And if you're not confident with taking big positions, buy it with 1/10 of your account, buy it with 1/20th of your account, buy 20 stocks which look like this. But don't buy the stock which is falling. Delta Corp, again, Delta Corp is getting a bit weak. So what you can do here is, I'll just clear it out, right? It's not really weak, I mean, on the overall chart, but definitely it's not about to break out anytime soon. So this is your area of reaction. All right. So let's see what kind of reaction happens from this area. If it starts to take this out, then you should scale out, or you should exit completely if it's a short term view. All right. SDFC Bank short right now. Bank Nifty has already fallen a lot. Why do you want to short SDFC Bank? It's actually bullish. So there's a fundament. I mean, there's a gap in understanding. This is not falling with the market. It's not making a new low after the day started. So why do you want to short this? All right. So it's very important to um, time the market correctly. If the market has fallen and it's at the demand zone, what you want to do is you want to go long on strong structures, because the market has already fallen. So if it will fall more, then of course your stop will hit. But if it's at the demand zone, then you want to go long on structures like this. Look at this. This was your previous base. It took out this base, so this is structure is bullish, and now you find your entries here. You get a straight line move up. All right. So there is a gap in understanding there. All right. You look at this as well. Market is holding. This is trying to go up. Most preferably, you focus on compact structures. I mean, that depends on what strategy or whatever you're trading. But when market is holding the demand and you're thinking that the market should go up, you should take long in strong structures. You should not short at that point, because it has already fallen. All right. If you're so confident about the market dropping again, then look at weak structures. So we can find weak structures as well. But you won't find a lot of weak structures, because everything would have fallen in the mounting itself with the market. Look at this. Everything is falling itself, falling with the market itself. All right. So when the market is intraday, see, intraday when you're trading intraday, you should only look for reversals in the market, because that is the best time to buy intraday. Suppose the market has fallen like this. If it starts going up sharply, then most of the stocks will start going up sharply. So this kind of structure is best for intraday. When it goes up in the morning and it falls in the afternoon, that is also good. Or when it falls in the morning and goes up in the afternoon, so this is also good. When it continues to go up, that is not the time to do intraday. All right, because your strong structures are already up, and the ones which have not broken out yet, they are weak because the market is going up. So if you take a long in them and the market starts to fall, then you are automatically going to lose, right? And if you take a long in them and the market keeps going up, there is a chance that they may not move at all. So that is a fundamental problem with intraday. You always have to take the opposite trade. All right. So if you're expecting the market to fall here, take a short. All right. After it, so whatever happens in the morning, you wait. You always want to trade reversals in intraday. All right. So let's see. So suppose this one. All right. So suppose it's not downtrending at all. So until it starts breaking through the 50 EMA, you don't short this. So on this day, there is no intraday trade for me. I won't even take a long trade here. All right. But on this day, if you see, it goes up in the morning and then starts to fall. So this is a great time to do intraday. All right. So on intraday, again here as well, see, goes up till the supply starts dropping. Again, a good time to do intraday. So focus on these reversals in intraday. All right. Don't take stocks randomly, because now Bank Nifty is making a new low and it's not falling anymore. All right. But SDFC Bank is somewhere here. So that is the worst stock to short right now. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. So he's trying to go up as well. All right. Reddington. Reddington is good. See, it's holding again. So strong structures will hold. It already broke out yesterday. So this is good. We have talked about it multiple times. Aditya Birla Fashions entry right now. No, don't take an entry right now. The demand is somewhere here. All right. So don't take an entry right now. Wait for it to set up around this supply. All right. Let this demand do something. So let it make a bullish candle and maybe go sideways. When the market is stable, we'll see some up move. Don't take longs right now. I mean positional longs. Small position grasping for the same reason. Cutting it, don't cut it randomly. All right, let the market get bearish completely. So so you see your position is small. So until it takes out this low, there is still a lot of demand in this area. All right. So wait for that. That is the advantage of taking a small position, that you don't have to cut on every down candle. All right. So wait for it. And what this will help you with as well. Suppose this holds. Suppose the market starts going up from here and Grassing does not go up. You will still have a lot of capital to take other strong charts. All right. But another thing which can happen is, suppose market starts going up from here, and you were invested fully in Grassing. So now you don't have money to add to stronger structures. You'll have to take them with your usual risk. So you basically not really making more money when you're supposed to, right? So let this structure play out. There is nothing wrong with it. You just want to write this out. All right. Let's see what happens. Cut it only when this demand is getting taken out, because see, this is the demand which is guiding all this action, right? This is the supply and this is the demand zone. So wait for it. Right, guys, make sure you like the video as well. That helps with the algorithm. आपको टेलीग्राम या डिस्कॉर्ड पे चैनल नहीं आई एम गुड. I'll prefer YouTube growth. Rama phosphates. All right, Rama phosphates. Still, there is no entry. We're waiting for some consolidation. It's still strong. Look at how it's holding this area. So it's still very strong. All right, and we are waiting for some. I think it's available on NSE. All right, it's not. So it's still very strong. Good chart. We'll wait for this to bottom out. So maybe if it goes sideways somewhere here, that is when you can start buying this. All right, Tirumalai Chemical. This is all right, but this supply isn't tested yet. So you wait for something, but this structure is good. Wheels India. So Wheels India is not doing anything. Again, I talked about until this supply is tested, there is no point taking it, and the demand is somewhere here. All right, so it is all right. The structure is good. There is nothing wrong with the structure as such. It is still bullish until this zone is taken out. But when will it move? That's very difficult to say because it hasn't tested the all-time high supply. All right, so we should probably avoid this. All right, it has tried and come down to the 50 EMA. All right, cool. So it's still not at the demand zone. I'll just draw the demand properly. Somewhere here, 54.5. KNR Construction. KNR Construction is good. We've talked about it. Look at the strength in the chart. All right, so this is good. You should definitely start buying this. Again, don't buy just because I said don't go and buy with 50% of your account. All right, start buying this slowly. Build positions. All right, because 8 out of 10 times the market is going to fall immediately after you buy. All right, so give it some time and start buying small. Views on FI is selling, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if FI is selling or if FI is buying. I'm just following where the market is taking me. All right. So it doesn't matter. All that is just noise. All right. They can start buying from tomorrow. No one knows. So you just want to know what sectors are getting affected the most. All right. So they are basically selling the most in something like IT. Right. There's a big outflow of money in IT. They were buying here, but now they're dumping the IT stock. Pharma also, some major selling has happened. Auto is still good. Metal is good. Energy is also good. Media is good. So FI can sell, but the stocks, I mean, the structures which are good, they will tend to outperform anyway. All right. So focus on the structure. FI is selling, all that stuff doesn't matter. Let the price guide you. If you take one or two stops, doesn't matter. Does contraction mean multiple tight candles? Yes, but it has to be at a proper place. You cannot take a random contraction and expect it to break out. Suppose you cannot take something here and then expect it to break out. All right. So Angel One KEC. All right. Let's check out Angel One. Nothing is going on in Angel One. I've discussed this multiple times. Angel One, we want to see some action around this supply. This supply right here. This is not doing anything right now. All right. So don't do anything here. All right. Let's check out. So you see, this is trying to go up. This is consistently outperforming Bank Nifty. So you don't short this. All right. This might break out. There is no supply as well apart from this. All right. KEC International. KEC again. It was downtrending. There is nothing in KEC. All right. KEC. Or I confused it with KPIT. Yeah, my bad. So KEC, you wait for it. The chart is strong. All right. Chart is good. This is what you want to see. All right. When this supply is tested multiple times. Actually, there was an entry right here. There was an entry right here around 500, 505. Right now it's pulling back with the market, so we'll wait for another sort of a rounding bottom here, which basically means that the lower time frame structure let it break, and then you can look for some kind of a up move. Canfin Home again, good structure. Canfin Home is also good. Let it test out this supply. This is also on my watch. KNR Constructions, I just checked out. This is also good, and Airtel is also good. So good structures. You're better than probably 99% of traders just by selecting good structures. So good one. Now keep monitoring them and keep building positions in them. All right. Orient Cement. Let's check it out. Orient Cement. Orient Cement is also good. This is not falling as much, but the sector is not doing good. The cement sector is not really doing good. So probably wait more. Ajuni Biotech is gone. There is nothing here. There is nothing here. Arvind and Arvind Fashion both are good. Yes, Arvind Limited is good. Um, though it's a bit far from the demand zone, that is my only concern. But the structure is really good. It's not falling as well. And Arvind Fashion is also all right. Arvind Fashion, basically what you want to wait for. See, this supply is tested now. So I'll wait for something here, like some range like this, which will complete this entire VCP structure, and then we can see some kind of an up move. How do you organize a watch list? What do you monitor? I always start with the sectoral index. All right, I always start with the sectoral index, and then I go through other stocks. So nothing, no process really. But firstly, I always go and look at the sectoral index and the broader market depth. Which sector is the most beneficial to build positions in right now? So always go with the sectoral index first. Dollar slab, there is no entry right now. Let the structure set. Right. There's a strong supply here. Keep an eye on that. So there's a strong supply somewhere here. So let it come down and maybe go sideways, and then you can take an entry. It should go immediately to 650. All right. That area is there. There is a supply in that area again. All cargo logistics. I think it's breaking down. All cargo. All right. It's not breaking down. It is back up again. So wait for some action at this supply. All right. So you see, this is what I'm trying to say. This supply should be tested multiple times. Then you can buy here. Right. So let it get tested, and then you can buy here. Dish TV. Dish TV, there is nothing. Dish TV, there is nothing. It's very far from your previous supply, which is somewhere here. This structure did not play out, so now there is nothing in Dish TV for me. Stop doing as much as you stop doing intraday as your mentorship change compared to last year. Yes, it only gets better with every passing month. You can check out my content. I've been doing this since November 2020. So it's only, so see, it's bound to get better. There is no other option, because if I am constantly learning new things and I'm discovering new things, it's only bound to get I'm only able to optimize my system. There is no going back once you start. Once you have reached a certain place. All right. Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty on the 1 minute. Why? First of all, Bank Nifty 1 minute. What kind of question is that? All right. Bank Nifty. What do you see on the 1 minute? There is nothing. On the 5 minute, there is a demand zone here. All right, and this is a base as well. So this base is what you want to see. Now see, you don't immediately buy when it comes to demand. All right, and you don't buy when the 1 minute structure breaks as well. You buy when the base is getting completed. So now when you see, and how does the base get completed? It needs to test out the internal supply. Where is the internal supply? The internal supply is somewhere here. All right, this is your internal supply right here. So now when you're watching this structure, now there's a chance that it moves up. All right, so now when you're seeing that there's a chance of an up move here, what do you want to wait for? You want to wait for the price to start trading around the 1 minute EMA. All right, so you see now what is happening here. This was your supply right here. All right, now it's trading around the 1 minute 50 EMA. All right, so when that is happening, you mark which demand zone is holding, which made the last 1 minute high. This was the last 1 minute high. So this dip made the last 1 minute high right here. All right, you see this area, this demand zone is very close to the price, so I won't take this. Right, I want these imbalances to be filled so that there is no scope of coming back down. So now I got my demand zone. All right, and I got my structure as well. All right. So now with this demand zone as my reference, I can take longs when they set up. All right. So plan your trades like this. Make it systematic. Always start from the high time frame. And another thing is you also want to check out um, which index is outperforming, which index is going up. So if you see Nifty is underperforming Bank Nifty. All right. So Nifty is underperforming Bank Nifty right here. Nifty is falling. Bank Nifty is mostly sideways. So Bank Nifty, there's a chance that it goes up because it's outperforming. If Bank Nifty was underperforming, then I wouldn't have taken this long because there's a chance that this demand is getting broken. All right. Of course, there is still a chance that this demand gets broken, but if it's already underperforming Nifty, then there's a bigger chance. So I'll enter with a smaller size, and all and with all this as well, this is still not a good long, right? Because on the 5 minute we're heavily downtrending. So what maximum we can see is something like this, maybe to this level, or maybe if it's a very sharp reaction, maybe to this level. So this is still not a good long. But if you want to take a trade, then this is the best option right now. I wouldn't take this. All right, I'm always waiting for action around the 50 EMA. So until I get my perfect setup, I'm not taking these longs. All right. So you see all these structures, these are really good. 50 EMA, some kind of rollover, and then you keep trending. You see here as well, 50 EMA rollover, then you keep trending. So these are the best kind of structures which you want to take. All right. So you see this demand takes out this supply, and again you form some structure. Look at the trend on the next day. All right. So wait for your proper structure to develop on the around the 50 EMA on the 5 minute, right? And then plan your entries. But right now you can see some up move. Definitely that there should be some up move, but till where will it go? You cannot tell that. Maybe this supply, no one knows. Maybe it gives a little spike and starts falling again. This can also happen. So when there is no clear bullish sentiment and a bullish trade is available, then your target should be the next supply. Entry for Orient Cement, wait for it. I've discussed it. You can go back. We've talked about Orient Cement. Suven Pharmaceutical, right? Suven Pharma, again, if you see, right? So let's check it out. So the supply is tested, but now it's dropping down after breaking through here. All right. So if you entered somewhere here, that is first of all a bad entry because we're far from the 50 EMA. And right now it's still bullish. This until this zone is taken out, it is still bullish. So you want to wait for a bounce and then some range bound action. All right. So nothing in Suven Pharmaceuticals right now. All right. Ganesh Housing. Let's check it out. Ganesh Housing CP. All right. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. So you see Bank Nifty is again dropping. So now when it's dropping down, the demand zone is already there. This is our demand zone. Right. So don't take a long straight away. All right. Don't take a long straight away just because that it has come down. Wait for it to go up and then test out this area. Like basically there would have been a long trade here somewhere. All right. There would have been a long trade here. Then that didn't work out. It tried to turn around. So maybe you get an exit here. So when the 5 minute chart is not good, all right, these kinds of things will happen. All right, maybe it makes a new low and then goes back up again. So any kind of minor structure break here, it it shouldn't be taken. That's a low probability trade. All right, so always wait for the 5 minute 50 EMA. What you can do is you can trade India 50. I mean, I've been telling you to trade India 50. There was a clear shot in the morning here. Look at this. This is a 9:15 candle. Demand started to go. There was a clear shot right here. All right. So this is your 9:15 candle. Here is where the demand started to go. Now you can short heavily at these supplies. So trade India 50. Don't trade the naked chart of Bank Nifty. There's a lot of gap. There's a lot of missing information. Right. So trade India 50. Explain exit strategy. I've discussed it multiple times. Come on, watch my videos. Exit strategy is when this demand zone starts to go. You'll have to exit here. All right. So suppose let's take this for an example. All right. So now if you're taking a long trade, suppose there is no demand zone here. Right. So suppose you're taking a long trade here. All right. When this supply is tested, once, twice, you're buying here. So when this demand starts to go, this demand, that is when you exit. All right. Don't exit before that. When this demand starts to go, you'll be sure that the stock has now entered a downtrend. Right. So when this demand starts to go, it will continue to fall till the next base, or maybe even more. So something like, let's take this for an example, right? So you see, this was your demand which made the last high. All right. So when this starts to go here, that is when you exit. This is your exit strategy. You will exit right near the top, and now the stock is just falling down. All right. So focus on the India 50 chart. All right. Don't trade naked Bank Nifty charts. There will be a lot of missing data. So it is reacting from our demand zone, but again, let's see. I'm not sure if it will hold or not. How can I play my entry in? All right. So more. How do you differentiate between a base and a base? Is basically a range. A demand zone is a base on the higher time on the lower time frame. On the lower time frame. So if this is a daily supply, this is basically a range on the lower time frame. If I go to the 30-minute chart, you see it's a range right here. So base is just a range and demand zone is different. Demand zone are 2 candles, 3 candles. See, the terms do not matter. You just have to find your area of interest, nothing else. All right. JSW Energy. Yeah, JSW Energy is going up, but I wouldn't have taken that trade, to be honest, because it did not test out the demand zone. So this was the demand which I was watching. So I mean, this is all right, but I wouldn't have taken it. Change updated concepts for swings. Yes. Um, so when you're taking compression to demand, it won't work in a very weak market. All right. So you want to uh, trade what works in every market, which is when the stock is trying to break out. That is the only thing that will work in every market, because that basically means that the stock is ready to move. So until this high supply is tested, now I'm not entering trades. All right. So until something like this, yes. So only focus on structures like this. All right. If they move, they move. If they do not, they'll fall down. Structures like this as well. And add the 50 EMA as well on the daily chart, so that you don't buy far away. That will protect you from any loss of momentum structures. All right. Um, Majority of your learnings come from chart analysis. Yes, only chart, nothing else. So see, when I'm looking at something like this, all right, and I'm seeing that every time a top is forming, what is happening here, all right. So then I'm adding the 50 EMA and I'm seeing how is the price behaving around the 50 EMA, all right. Are there any tops which are failing around the 50 EMA? So you see here structures like this, it's failing around the 50 EMA. All right. So then the 50 EMA becomes a nice reference area. So everything is with experimentation. You have to keep experimenting. I mean, You don't have to do that because I've done that for all of you, but still. So when you do this, you can automatically see things which other people cannot, and this is true for every strategy. If you are, or every type of analysis, if you're using CPR, right? So CPR people can see things with CPR which I cannot, right? If you're using trend line maybe people can see things with trend line which I cannot. So it's all about forming your framework which helps you with everything. There shouldn't be any surprises for you in the market, right? So now if I'm seeing that this, why is this reacting, I know there's a demand zone here, all right, and this is going up. So I don't have to draw random support lines here to say that this is a support. I know that there's a nice zone of demand from which it is reacting. All right. So if you can reason out every move in the market, then you're good. You don't have to follow anyone. So we are getting the breakout. But see, again, this did not give an entry. All right. It just started to break out um, straight up. So here probably HDFC Bank is shooting up. Where is HDFC Bank? All right. It's not shooting up, but it's still bullish. So this move, you don't know where it will go. It may reverse from here. It may reverse from here. Bought 2 lots of Sun Pharma at 13 rupees. All right, let's check out Sun Pharma. First of all, why have you bought when it's extended here? You should exit immediately. All right, exit. Exit this. This is not going anywhere. It can bounce up till here, but don't wait for it. You should exit. All right, so Geeky Ventures, right? How can you plan your entry? So it's reacting down right now. So let this demand zone hold, right? And when it, suppose it holds and it forms a higher low like this, right? Break structure on the hourly. So it's coming down right now. Yeah, right. So maybe it reacts, maybe it comes down here and then reacts. So once it starts contracting here, then you can enter. Or maybe here as well. So basically look at the hourly structure and then that starts to turn bullish at the demand. That is when you enter. All right, a lot of questions. Let me check them. SL placement will always be below the demand zone. There is no other way to place the SL. MFL view. MFL is pulled down, is pulling back from the supply. Now it will probably contract and go back up again. So you can look for entries on the early chart. How to use liquidity? You don't need liquidity. That is the entire point. Liquidity, mostly you're making up stories. All right. If it reverses after a fake breakout, it's liquidity. If it starts going down, then there's no liquidity. So what kind of logic is that? All right. So these are equal lows. All right. So suppose these are equal lows, relative equal lows. So if it dips down and goes back up, then this was liquidity. But again, starts going down. So there is no liquidity. So this doesn't make sense. All right. This is basically making up stories. Trade what you can see. You can see that there's a zone here. All right. Inducement, all that. So now some people will come and say this is inducement. This is your zone. And this does not, this, there is your liquidity which is lying. People are shorting here. And the zone wasn't tested, or it's not, it's unmitigated, and then this is inducement. So that's bullshit. All right. Don't fall for that. There is, see, the thousands of crores are not being traded in Bank Nifty every day or in any stock. All right. So there is nothing, there is no such thing called inducement. There is probably a 1 minute zone here. So if I show you, right, so you see this entire block is your 5 minute supply. All right. So it's reacting from there. Right. So all those are just complexities which are useless. If they were useful, I would have been using it. If they were actually uh, helping me to get better. All right. Focus on the base. When the base breaks down, focus on some supply. When it comes to you don't have to judge which supply to take. All right, this supply, if it gets broken, it's all right. Until the base is broken out, it's still bearish. So if it sets up around this supply, if it changes structure on the 1 minute, take your shot. All right, you're good to go. All right. So that's the way I did here. So did I use any liquidity concepts? Now, what liquidity traders will tell you that this move was trendline liquidity. Again, what you just want to know your zone and trade that. All right. And use the 50 EM. It will help you know when the base is complete. All right. So, and same with breaker block as well. Right. Now people will tell you that. So, all right. So what is a breaker block? Basically, when you see a big fake out, right, and the thing breaks out, it's supposedly uh, it is supposed it has to react from here. So you want to see something like this. So this is a good shot. That's again bullshit. All right, because there is always a zone here. There is always a zone. I can show you the zone on any chart, on any breaker block chart. I can show you the zone here. And why is there a zone here? Because ultimately this is demand. So to take this out, there has to be a fresh supply which is formed. All right. So that is the zone from where the price will react. It is at that simple. All right. So so this is not a breaker block, right? This is not a breaker block. There is the supply right here. This is where this thing is reacting from. So so open your eyes and don't fall for everything. All right. Why so much emphasis on 50 m? It helps you know when the base is completed. All right. So it will help you know when the base is completed. So suppose if it's falling and you are seeing the stock at some demand zone, you're seeing the stock at some demand right here, right? So how do you know when you have to buy? The structure is still bearish, right? The structure is still bearish in the stock. So um, how do you know when to buy? That is when the 50 EMA will help. All right. So until the price sustains nicely above it, like this, I wouldn't take longs. This tells me that this area is nicely. I mean, at least the stock is sideways right now. So until the EMA flattens out, the flow is still downtrending. All right. So so until the EMA flattens out, I wouldn't take the long trade. Extended structures basically mean that it is far from the 50 EMA. So you see, it's far from the 50 EMA here. So there's a chance that it pulls back. All right. Again, it's far. There's a chance that it pulls back. Far chance that it pulls back. All right. So whenever it's far from the 50 EMA, you should avoid that because that is not a good risk to reward opportunity for your trade. So you should always try to avoid structures which are far from the 50 EMA. All right, quantum. All right, let's check it out. What is the? All right, my bad. This is having, yes. This is a good structure. Yes, very good. This is a good structure. Jubilant Ingredient again. Downtrending stocks. Don't do anything with these stocks, guys. Don't do anything with these stocks. This is not a value buy. So also, there's the. I mean, most people are doing this wrong, and I'm talking about the new people that they see a stock which has performed very well. All right, earnings are great, all that stuff is great, and then when the stock starts to break down, that is when they start to buy. So this is actually the worst time to buy this stock. While it was performing well, you did not buy a single stock, and while it's falling down continuously, you're trying to buy it. So it's falling down for a reason. When it starts performing again, just buy them. So how do people how are people able to buy um, falling stocks is beyond me. I can never do that, right? Because how are you sure what's going to happen here, right? Anything can be a multi-year top. All right, JB Chemical. I see some good names here. Let's check them out. JB Chemical is good. Your supply is tested here. This is good. Precision wires. All right. This is very far from the 50 EMA. Right. See, this was a good entry right here. This right here was a good entry. And this is actually similar to NDTV trade, which I discussed 2 days ago. And now it's up 50% in 2 days. More like 40%. Yeah. All right. Tanla. Tanla is breaking down again. See, don't buy this. Right. Let it contract around this supply. Right here is your entry. Right. I will probably take an entry here as well. And then I'll exit here. Maybe here as well I'll take an entry. Then I'll exit here again. One or the other time it has to break out. So nothing right now in Tanla. See, it's not going that far up. It's again, it's facing a lot of supply here. Right? Probably the structure is still all right, but cannot expect a big move without some sideways action. KM Sugar can be bought at CMP. All right. Actually, no. Demand is here. I cannot suggest this. This looks good. This might break out as well, but I cannot buy this. How do you manage your trading while conducting? I trade before the live, so I took a shot in Nifty, the one which I discussed. So I was watching this candle in the morning, the first candle. So I was watching this supply and this demand. So I took a little short here and I covered in 2-3 candles itself. So I mostly trade before the live. I do not trade in the afternoon. That is why the live is kept at a time when I don't have to trade. So during the afternoon I don't trade. Mostly during the end after 1 or in the morning, the first move of Nifty. All right. What is balance or imbalance? They do not indicate anything. They're just a way to view the chart. Right? Price is imbalance. Price is imbalance. Balance, imbalance, imbalance, imbalance. Again a balance. Again some bits of imbalance here. So it's just a way to view the chart. Nothing else. Hindustan Copper for a swing trade. All right. Nothing yet. I was also watching it right here when it was contracting nicely, but nothing yet. I wouldn't take this. It's testing this supply now. So be a bit careful. We can see something like this. The same thing which happened with Jindal Steel and Power. So right. So you see something like this, tested out the supply, then dropped down and now it's up. So something like this can happen in Hind Copper as well. All right. 50 EMA is useful. Again, time frame doesn't matter, my boy. Time frame doesn't matter. If the stock has to fall, then you won't make money on the long side. Right? By the time you are in some profits, the stock will reverse again. Time frame doesn't matter. Don't get lost in the time frame thing. Make your bias on the daily chart. Make your bias on the weekly chart, and then do intraday. All right. So make your bias on the bigger time frame charts. So you see, there's a daily supply right here. So once you see there's a daily supply, you won't go ahead and take a long trade here. All right. So time frame does not matter. If you're trading a stock, you should know everything about it. SRPL buy at 47. All right. SRPL buy at 47. That is an okayish entry. Structure is good though. Structure was good, so that is good. I mean, good trade, good one. Tata Investment. All right. Tata Investment. Nothing. Again, this supply is very far, so nothing here. The structure is good, but We want something like this. All right, we want something like this, not this broad range. All right, Manali Petrochemical is all right. Manali Petrochemical is still good. It's not even falling today, so that is also good. HCC Hindustan Construction. Yes, good one. Good chart. This is also on my watch. Great chart actually. And Ganges Security. All right. This is breaking out today. All right, cool. So hopefully you've entered earlier, right? I mean, it's already up. Will you start your own portfolio management? Yes, maybe sometime in the future. Brigade is good as well. Brigade is good. Sun Pharma, exit Sun Pharma. Why are you buying so high? Talked about it already. Sun Pharma, exit it. Exit your trade. Take your loss and exit. Don't let it get worse. All right. So you might get a reaction from this demand, but every time it falls, some new demand will appear. So you'll have to get rid of your um, bad habits like this. All right. So not good. Wait for a bounce and then exit. So maybe you get a bounce till here, 880 something, then exit. This is a bad trade. Can you explain the NDTV logic behind NDTV use move? All right. First of all the sectoral charts were bullish. All right, and you see this entire area is supply, right? And the stock dipped down to the 50 EMA, which is my value area. Now I'm seeing some contraction here, right? So now when I see some constructive structure on the hourly chart, which is here, this supply gets taken out, and then we see some contraction. That is your use move. This is basically a swing trading template. All right. Right, so it looks like it's absorbing some supply, but again, 5 minute is not good. All right, all right. Gujarat Alkalis has tested supply. All right, let's check it out. Yes, but it's very far from the 50 EMA, right? It's very far from the 50 EMA. So I will avoid this right now. Wait for a dip and then again move up. It's extended in the short term. MMTC is looking good. All right. How is this looking good? This is your supply right now. So let it do something like this. There is nothing in this chart right now. Did you exit KTEX? No, I did not. And Target, I have exited NDTV. All right, DSL cell entry view. Again, it's far from your. It's far from 50 EMA. So nothing. Ganesh Housing. All right. Ganesh Housing is good. I've talked about this. This is good. Um, how do you know which sector will perform? How do you know textile? All textile stocks will set up together. So you have to go through every chart. That is the only way. All of them will start setting up together. Look at this. All these structures, they were setting up together here in around March. All right. Look at Page Industries as well. Sector leader. All these are setting up here. All of them. All right. All of them. See Lux as well. So they will set up together and they'll start moving up one by one. That is when you know that thing is about to go. All right, so that is it for today. And focus on simple things, guys. Don't complicate so much. It won't be useful on bigger capital. So you want to prepare yourself with bigger capital from the first day itself. All right, and have a good weekend. And I'll see you guys on Monday.